Good morning. I'm Mark Allen with Gaper.io, and I'm here today with JC Clarke, VP at Engine Group in Chicago. Good afternoon in your case, JC. How you doing?
Fine, thanks, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So I'm glad you could join us today.
Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah. So what has been, can you just share a brief experience of yourself and your work experience?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. So I'm sitting here in Chicago, or about 40 miles outside of Chicago, where I've been raising my family for the last several years. I've been working in media and advertising technology for the last 20 plus years. Actually started out, Mark, with a company in the Bay Area, not far from where you are. Got in to start working in media, digital media specifically, back with .com boom. Really fortunate to have some friends in the business that brought me in for an interview. 3 hours into the interview and seeing everybody walking around with board shorts and Hawaiian shirts and a keg being brought in around 5 o'clock, I thought maybe this could be more fun for a mid-20s guy. What the insurance gig that I was currently in.
Yes.
So, fast forward 20 years or so, I extensive experience in digital media, notably with large media companies such as Time Inc., CBS, NBC Universal, and really had great experience, not just understanding the broader media landscape and how digital fits in, but also looking at digital media as a way to solve age-old advertiser problems that they were dealing with, or they weren't dealing with because they didn't know they were problems yet. So here I am. I'm with a larger entity, again, an Engine Media Group, which takes assets from a lot of different places, and we're bringing them to market to solve new advertiser and marketer problems that, again, folks might not have known were issues or problems 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, and I bet you there's a few that have come up recently. We could talk about those in a little while.
Very true. Yeah, right.
So, what has been your experience with remote employment, both as a remote employee and employer?
Yeah, so I have been remote most of my career, whether it was working in a satellite office or a shared office like a Regis, 10, 15 years ago, which was the big name. WeWork became the big name of late. But I had worked primarily in these scenarios where I was not at headquarters. I wasn't at where the business unit was based. I was typically satellite employee or running a satellite office for that organization. My experience has been, well, that's status quo. That's what I know. That's how we go to work every day, and that's obviously there's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot of, I guess, things that we need to think about in terms of being remote employees to maximize our productivity, but also stay connected to the home office, to headquarters, and make sure that we're getting the most out of those interactions and out of the work streams as we can, being remote.
Very interesting. And is Engine Media Group based in Chicago or somewhere else?
We're actually, our global headquarters are in New York. We have 16 offices throughout the world. Chicago is one of the larger offices. It might even be nearly as large as say, New York, given some of the acquisitions we made over the years and where those companies sat. But it's still technically a remote office, a satellite office.
Interesting. So what do you think is the future of remote employment, and what do you think can be done differently to make it more effective?
Well, I think remote employment is going to be the new norm. It's no longer the era of we have an office and everyone goes into that office. And, I think now, and this has been going on prior to COVID, this was something that was accelerating over the last several years. I find more and more people that I work with and interact with that might be working out of a home office in, say, Bozeman, Montana, or, Poughkeepsie, New York, or what have you. I mean, it's just depending on their lifestyle and what they want to get out. I think skills, the skills of being remote, the skills of being able to work from home in those scenarios has evolved quite a bit. I think folks are more aware of what they need to understand and do and refined to make the most out of those situations.
Mhm.
So coming out of our current pandemic, you'll see more people than ever before working from home or working remotely, because we now understand the tools better. We understand the need for really refined communication, and also just how to balance our lives while not going into an office every day.
Yeah. And I also think upper management now realizes that it is possible and people can be productive. And so they're going to question, do I really need this big office?
Yeah, you're hearing more and more of this. I believe it was Twitter the other day that announced
Yep.
no more offices. Clearly there'll be an office for people to go to, I would assume, but people are productive at home. People are really productive at home. And think about the cost cuttings, or the cost savings, I should say, that those companies can benefit from by allowing people to work from home. Now, I've come to the conclusion here after a couple months of working from home and experimenting with different parts of my residence to find a good place to work, that A, I need a monitor. I don't have a monitor right now. B, I need a keyboard, and a mouse so I can, be more comfortable and
Mhm.
not be slumping over all day and causing myself more problems later on in my life than I currently have. But I think that we're all kind of going through this together, Mark. We're a lot of us are learning right now what it means to truly be remote.
Mhm.
Not a remote employee as I was accustomed to, which is a big difference. I had an office, albeit remote, that I could go to every day. But now remote means something entirely different. It's truly is. It's the work from home phenomenon.
Yeah, no, it is. It's been, I think, enlightening for a lot of people. And there were challenges at first, but I think in general we've gotten through them as a society.
I would agree. I think that, I think about my scenario, and I'm lucky. I live in the suburbs. Sorry, let me turn my notifications off.
All right.
Of Chicago, and I'm out. I have a family of 5, and we're out in the country, and it's wonderful because, albeit I'm working from home, and typically I'd go to the water cooler, or go get a cup of coffee or a snack, and go down the street to grab a bite to eat for a break. Here, I've just had to change that for a walk the dog, or
Mhm.
maybe cook a grilled cheese sandwich for one of my kids, or something like that. But it's the balance is there, the ability to balance, but it took time
Mhm.
to truly learn that and understand how to maximize that balance so that we could remain productive and remain focused when you're at work, but then also allow yourselves to take those breaks and benefit from being able to see and be around your family.
Yeah, no, it's been great. So, what is the story behind Engine Media Group? What do you guys do? Who are your customers? All that stuff.
I don't know where to start, where to stop. We do quite a bit. It's a fascinating company. It's really Engine is really a media and marketing services company. If you think about where we come at it as we're not a media holding company. We're the disruptor to the media holding company.
Hmm.
We're really a company that's using more real-time insights and data to inform marketing and media decisions.
Hmm.
So we're really future-proofing clients' needs. Where we're at right now with COVID and the pandemic and the uncertainties that go with it, you really do need partners. You really need that expertise to help guide those decisions. So where Engine sits right now is, we are an ecosystem of creative agencies, data nerds, business consultants. We have cultural mavens. We own something called Cassandra, for instance. And all they do is publish, not all they do, but one of the big things that they're known for is publishing research on millennials, Gen Zers, and Gen Xers.
Hmm.
Every week you'll get really tremendous insights into what's really moving those generations and how are they thinking about the world around them. We have channel specialists that really deep expertise in advanced TV
Hmm.
or online radio or out of home, so on and so forth. So there's a lot that we're doing to help brands and their agencies understand the consumer, look at media consumption, look at media effectiveness, and plan, execute, and measure that media most effectively. So where I sit is really within Engine Group is the media solutions team. We're a media company, right? We have best in class supply, being an SSP, best in class supply across display, across online video, and across connected TV. We also, because of the way that we are integrated within the marketing services company, we also have first party data that we can generate. Really, really cool first party data. We can get the most recent data on consumers' behavior that's highly, highly precise. And then we can layer that on top of our own media to run extremely efficient, very targeted campaigns for them, and then apply our measurement solutions so that they can understand the business outcomes of what that media ultimately drove the consumer to do. So as we have gone to market, especially over the last few months, as we've really consolidated a lot of our assets, you can think of us almost as the best kept secret in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
A company that is truly suited to solve business challenges that marketers and advertisers are facing right now, especially in light of the pandemic. So just, we're moving pretty quick right now. We've got our business is growing significantly. We work with the Fortune 100 companies down to, regional, more mid-market clients. It's really about solving the client's needs. So we'll take the engagement, we'll take the opportunity to consult and help brands and marketers get smarter about their business and their consumers. It's just really about, where we can offer assistance in solving those problems.
Well, so I summarize, sounds like you're a top to bottom advertising company that will take, it's kind of a cycle where, by helping companies do things, you're actually generating more data, which just feeds the cycle more, right?
Yeah. I mean, the more that we're being asked to run surveys and focus groups and polling and other market analysis, the more data that we're collecting,
Which makes you even more, it makes you even more valuable and have more insight.
Yeah, and that'll feed the engine that allows us to get more precise data and provide advertisers more opportunities to not only understand their consumers, but engage those consumers and really do it in a way that we're using their voice, their own marketing, the way that they're perceiving the world around them or the brands in front of them to communicate back to them.
Wow, that's fascinating. So how did you incorporate the idea of remote at your company? I mean, you're a big company, so did you have any say in this, or was it done at higher levels?
Oh, it was done at the highest levels. I mean, I think we're a very flat organization. I mean, we certainly have matrices, but it's very flat. So the decisions to remote employees or now send them to work from home were done from the top, but it was driven by the pandemic at this point. The 16 or so offices we have around the world, of which 15 of those or whatnot were remote offices, that probably won't change all too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the size of those offices might change and the way that they're utilized might change, but the decision to send everybody home was primarily driven by the pandemic. And that was primarily decided upon by our CEO and CFO. But I'll have to say the transparency and how they made those decisions was a breath of fresh air. I've never worked for a company that provided more insights into the decision-making process and allowed a constant feedback loop from employees so that they can make the best decisions possible for everyone, not just not just what they thought were the right decisions.
Well, that's great. So when this happened, did that cause any major challenges or roadblocks that you didn't expect?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. I mean, I think first and foremost is we're always being sent home to work. And when that happens, not everybody lives in an environment where they have a study like I'm sitting in right now. Some folks are living in studios. Some folks are living in studios with their partner, and their partner's also being sent home to work. So how do you create a productive working environment in those scenarios? I have 3 kids, but the kids are maybe a little older in some cases, or we're able to balance the care of our children between my wife and I throughout the day, whereas some people have babies and they're living, again, very small spaces. So there's a lot of challenges there. Now, again, Mark, we're all in this together. So even if my kid pops in and starts screaming at the top of his lungs during the call, chances are there's others on the Zoom call that have similar situations. So, but yeah, there's the challenge of finding the right environment that make you as productive as possible. 1, 2, making sure your technology works effectively and consistently throughout the day. And then 3, continuing to improve upon your communication style. Because, right now we're on a call, a Zoom, our communication is fairly straightforward, but in business, as you know, when you're not in the room with somebody, you're unable to read their the peripheral, what's going on. We really have to use new senses, new abilities to read the room to ensure that we have an engaged audience, and that requires a new skill set. It requires a more refined communication style, so that you are ensuring that you're communicating effectively, and that you're also understanding your audiences and how they're interpreting your message.
Very interesting. So there's companies like Gaper that help develop, build, and scale products. How important do you think this will be going forward for companies, like yourself, and for startups that need to hire the right people and in a hurry? And now, there's a whole different paradigm of where they can draw from.
Tremendously important. So here's a good example. Here's our youngest.
Oh, hi.
You say hi? All right, you gotta run out of here. I think tremendously important, and there's going to be a new evolution and revolution of the tools that are utilized by remote employees and people that are deciding that they're going to work from home in perpetuity. That there's going to be additional enhancements. I think Zoom is benefiting from all this, but Zoom's not the end all be all. There will be other toolkits out there or things that people can leverage to enhance their productivity or enhance the means by which we're communicating and creating more productive conversations.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, JC, I want to thank you for your time today. This has been enlightening. You have sounds like a great company to work for. And
yeah, really excited to be here.
Yeah. And thank you for your time, and have a great day.
Thanks, Mark. You too. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the beautiful weather out there.
I plan to. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.